Today I'm going to show you how to make the most moist, delicious, and easy lemon cupcake you've ever imagined. But even better, it looks like this on top. Really easy buttercream, a few different colors, and you have this kind of like fanciful Dr. Seuss shag carpet situation happening. Okay, let's get started. We're sifting together the dry ingredients, starting with 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour. In you go. 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 heaping teaspoon of baking powder, and a heaping 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Of course, we're not going to forget 1 cup of granulated sugar. Give it a nice sift, and then whisk it together. Set aside, and now it's time for the wet ingredients. I'm adding in 1/2 cup of sour cream at room temperature, and if you don't have that available, go ahead and use whole milk yogurt. It's totally fine. Now I'm adding in 3/4 cup of like partially melted butter, unsalted, of course. We're gonna add the zest of 1 lemon in. It's amazing how much flavor lemon zest adds. I hardly need to add that much lemon juice to get a lot of lemon flavor from these cupcakes. Give that lemon a nice roll to get those juices opening up. And now I'm going to add in the juice of 1/2 lemon, which should be about like a tablespoon or so, depending on the size and juiciness of your lemons. To this mixture, I'm adding in 1/2 cup of warm milk, maybe just like a tiny bit less. I'm going to reserve a tablespoon. Give this a quick whisk. Now it's time for 3 egg whites, also at room temperature. I gave this a very quick taste, and I'm just gonna add in the zest of like another 1/2 lemon. So I think I could use a little bit more zing. Off camera, I also added 1 more squeeze of lemon juice. Okay, now it's time to combine our wet and our dry, and we're gonna be ready to add these to our cupcake papers. Okay, in you go. 1 more whisk. This time it needs to be a good whisk so everything's combined well. Now it's time for a taste. Very nice. I'll be using a large ice cream scoop to measure out an equal amount of batter for each cupcake. It really helps and makes things much neater than it normally is. You're going to bake these at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes or until the centers are set. You might want to turn it around too if your oven has some hot spots. First thing off, we're going to use 2 pounds or about 1 kilogram of powdered sugar, and then 1 pound or 500 grams of unsalted butter at room temperature. Always sift your confectioner sugar. We're going to add our pound of butter into a standing mixer. So we're going to add a paddle attachment on and whip it on low for a few minutes until it's nice and creamy, but not full of air bubbles. Good time to walk away and do something else in the kitchen. 5 minutes later, so you can scrape down the bowl if you want to, but not really necessary at this point. I'm going to add my sugar in 2 batches. Whip the first a little bit just to incorporate it, then add the second one. Find any tea towel you want or kitchen towel that's clean, wrap it around, and then start. Right, now we're gonna add the rest of the sugar in. All right, I'm adding in a tablespoon of vanilla, just a couple drops of rosewater because it's really powerful. We're going to transfer a bit of buttercream into each bowl. You can do as many colors as you like. I'm going to have about 6 to 8, we'll see. You're definitely going to be using more of some colors than others because it's totally up to you, it's your design. So don't think you need to have batches that are exactly the same. You can have a small batch of rose, a large batch of turquoise, totally up to you. When you're making different shades, it's super easy to take a little bit of your darker buttercream and then add it to your uncolored buttercream for a lighter shade. I love how these colors look together. Some of them are unexpected like the ochre, but everything works well. Transfer each buttercream to a piping bag fitted with a grass tip. I used these yellow papers and they actually came out really nice. They're very cute and they didn't stain, which I was worried about. But at the last moment, I decided I actually want to photograph the cupcakes in these guys, these paper containers. These will totally stain. Even like with this perfect bake, it would have gotten like a little bit of a butter oily mark on it. So The easiest way to do this, if you want a nice presentation, is just to pop them in like this. Look at that, all ready for piping now. When you want to eat them, you can just pull them out, and if you want to be super sneaky, go ahead and remove the paper and then pop them in, and it makes them really easy to eat. Starting off with a big dollop of vanilla buttercream, I just want to get a mound for some depth and height. I don't want a flat cupcake. Use your large grass tip to pipe any color you want anywhere. Anything is possible. You can do little polka dots, you can do stripes. I'm just choosing like kind of a mishmash of different colors. And I'm trying to not put the same color next to itself, if that makes sense. When you add the colors on, you can add similar tones next to each other, mix it up completely, have big patches, or do alternating dots. It's whatever you want. I think this is like a crazy, really easy, super fun cupcake to make, so I hope you enjoy. I can't believe how nice this baked up, because normally I'm gonna tell you, I have this dark ring around my cupcakes. It seems to be unavoidable, but for this one, I managed to have the perfect bake, which makes me so happy, even though almost no one will see it. Okay, moment of truth. I'm gonna take a bite on camera for you because it's often requested. It is so light and fluffy and moist. Like, can you tell how light and fluffy that is? Oh my gosh. This is so good. Also, just by the by, you could just do a lemon drizzle on top and lie and call it a muffin. Have a very happy breakfast that way. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you get to make this recipe. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.